Hello, everybody. My name is MJ Edwards here, and welcome to the Ram League. As I drop things. Alright, so we've got a lot of news to talk about. Probably 30 or 40 things. I don't know the exact amount, but it's more than we have been. Be right back. No. You're welcome. Alright, sorry about that. We had an interruption. Anyways, so we have a lot of news to talk about. Um, so let's get into it. Not that. Belichick suffers another loss to Coach Prime. Brandon, four-star DB. Hold on a second. Four-star DB Preston Ashley commits to Colorado football. Deion Sanders 2026 class. Ranking. Rams position groups by concerned level. Which spots should have fans worried? Defensive front. Quarterback, wide receiver, specialists, running back, tight end, linebacker, safety, offensive line, cornerback. $1.2 billion funding bill for Chase Field passes Arizona House, headed to Governor Katie Hobbs' desk. Cooper Flag names personal must-watch Big Three in NBA. Cooper Flag names his three favorite NBA players to watch without hesitation. Um, it doesn't say on here. Hold on a second. Yeah, it don't say on here. Alright. One perfect Kansas City Chiefs move to fill out roster before 2025 training camp. Which we already talked about because I remember that. Can these top QB prospects contend for the number one pick in 2026 NFL Draft. This year's NFL Draft class featured a fairly lackluster group of quarterbacks, despite Miami's Cam Ward being the sensible number 1 overall pick to the Tennessee Titans. Why LeBron James believes Cooper Flagg will be amazing with Mavericks. LeBron James thinks very highly of Duke star Cooper Flagg. On the latest episode of Mind the Game, James and Stephen Nash discussed Flagg heading to the Dallas Mavericks. With the number 1 pick in the 2025 NBA Draft. The Los Angeles Lakers star talked about sympathizing with Flagg's position as he was around the same age when he was the top pick in the 2023 draft. Let's see here. Let me make sure we're live. I forgot to check. Okay, we are. All right. Let's see here. Shamar Stewart. Come on. Shamar Stewart agent makes rookie look just as bad as Bengals in dispute. What's one word to describe the Rams' offseason? The Los Angeles Rams had a very eventful offseason, them bringing back key members of their team while also attracting new talent to the city of Los Angeles. Their off-season pursuit of a lot of players were filled by their loss to the Philadelphia Eagles in the postseason and how close they were to changing the course of the NFL history. Next, don't expect Seahawks to trade for Trey Hendrickson. Steelers are expected to sign veteran L.S. Tucker Addington. Did adding George Pickens make Dallas wide receivers the division's best? Yes, they waited until the 5th round to address the latter. Alright, next. Bucks will wear creamsicle uniforms in Week 15. Rams Jordan Whittington overlooked in NFC West praise. Cooper Flagg set to become Mavericks' new main man as the expected number one pick in NBA draft. And all right. Only one player in the NFL has a larger cap hit than Matthew Stafford in 2025. That is Dak Prescott. 51 million. Next, did the Rams cause the Vikings to overcorrect their offseason? Or, I mean, offense? Schefter. Rams continued to float around in the Jalen Ramsey sweepstakes. Most concerning question for Rams entering training camp. As the Rams make the 5-hour return flight from Maui to the mainland, there's one issue causing a lot of turbulence in the near future. Suddenly, their two starting offensive tackles, Alaric Jackson and Rob Havenstein, are questionable headed into training camp. In other words, please return to your seats and fasten your seatbelts. Jackson didn't even make the original flight to Maui, something that could have aggravated blood clots in his lower leg. The unique issue that sidelined him over the final 9 games of the 2022 season could again sideline him to start 2025. Now the team's starting left tackle, who just 3 months ago was called one of the NFL's best free agent signings, could begin training camp July 22nd at Loyola Marymount on the physically unable to perform list. Next, former Chiefs quarterback still unemployed ahead of training camp. Russell Wilson and 2 more quarterbacks will be benched by mid-season. Russell Wilson, the New York Giants; Joe Flacco, Cleveland Browns; Daniel Jones, Indianapolis Colts. New AD Damon Evans' vision for SMU athletics includes additional upgrade to Ford Stadium. Dallas Mavericks expected to pick Cooper Flagg with number 1 NBA draft pick. There's a lot of news, so I'm trying to fly through this. George Kittle questions undrafted rookie's NFL draft decision after $700K NIL admission. Why analyst believes Jalen Ramsey fits better in Chargers defense. Could this be the week that the Dolphins finally trade Jalen Ramsey to another NFL club? The list of potential suitors seems limited to Western Pennsylvania and Southern California. Insider Adam Schefter said last week that Ramsey prefers a destination on the West Coast, and specifically mentioned the Rams and Chargers. If that's the case, which SoFi Stadium team is the best fit for the 7-time Pro Bowler, Mark Eckerich believes it's the Chargers. Next. Okay, that doesn't tell us anything. Do the Los Angeles Rams have best tight end defensive tackle duo in NFL? Cooper Flagg's fit with the Dallas Mavericks NBA comparisons more. Plasma therapy company becomes first UNLV football field sponsor. Stephen Avila, Kobe Turner visits Australia Stadium where Rams will play in 2026. NFL owners continue expansion into soccer. NFC West offensive line rankings. Rams boast elite unit with one big question looming. Offensive lines often get overlooked by casual observers, but they are the pillar of the team. Having a porous offensive line means your quarterback will likely be running for his life every week. Just ask CJ Stroud. Getting top-notch pass protection can make a world of difference, as we've seen with Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles. Next. What do Packers need to win a Super Bowl? Where they are ready and where they must improve. The Green Bay Packers have made the playoffs in each of the last 2 years, but have just one postseason win, indicating they still have some real strides to make if they are to truly compete for a Super Bowl. But what exactly do they need to be able to get there? After examining the Super Bowl contestants since 2017 and using PFF's overall team grades for each aspect of offense and defense, some themes emerge of the qualities most often required and the worst a team has been in a given area and been able to make it to the big game. Passing, pass blocking, receiving, rushing, run blocking, run defense, tackling, pass rush, pass coverage, special teams, and that's it. Next. Okay, that doesn't say anything. Cam Newton and Cameron Jordan hilariously reminisce over their heated rivalry. Facing attempted murder charge, ex-Steelers wide receiver Antonio Brown says, "I'm out of the country." Three starting spots on the line during Steelers training camp. Starting running back, starting running back, starting wide receiver, nickel quarterback, and punter. International baseball stadiums that rival the best in America. Um, South Korea. Chiefs Patrick Mahomes sounds off an offense next season. Buccaneers rookie Shiloh Sanders takes shot at Shedder's legal drama. Steelers Aaron Rodgers seems putting in work after minicamp. Joe Flacco addition already paying off for Browns. Chiefs announce multi-year extension before NFL season. Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs couldn't get it done to cap off the 2024 NFL season, falling to the Philadelphia Eagles and Super Bowl LIX. Now the Chiefs are turning their attention to the 2025 NFL season, where Mahomes will continue his pursuit of a fourth ring. Kansas City has begun preparations with organized team activities, OTAs, running from May 27th to June 13th. Followed by mandatory minicamp from June 17th to June 19th. Next up for the Chiefs is training camp. Over the last 15 years, Kansas City's training camp has been on the campus of Missouri Western State University, MWSU, in St. Joseph, Missouri, and it looks like it will stay the way for a few more years. On Sunday, the Chiefs announced they agreed to a multi-year deal with MWSU to continue holding training camp on the school's campus. The club and university also announced a multi-year extension ahead of the 15th training camp at MWSU, the Chiefs wrote. Next. Commanders, 8 million safety predicted to have breakout season. Martin improved drafts. Oh, wait. That's different. That's different. Alright. That's not it. Animus NFL X sounds off on the Los Angeles Rams. The Los Angeles Rams had arguably the most significant signing of any team in free agency. The offseason when they signed Devontae Adams, Jeremy Fowler of ESPN listed the addition of Adams as one of the moves he liked the most. 3 things can doom a veteran player: age, injury history, and declining skill. Adams is 32, but he's still performing at a high level and rarely misses time because of injury. Many evaluators still consider him elite, while acknowledging that he might have lost half a step after 11 years in the league, Fowler said. What is the Rams' secret to defeating the 49ers? Looking back at some 2024 film on the 2 occasions the Rams played the 49ers, Braden Fisk came up huge on defense in both games to help Los Angeles sweep San Francisco for the first time in this decade. When Fisk was allowed to pin his ears back and rush Brock Purdy, has delivered a game-winning impact, dominating in his matchup against 49ers right guard Dominic Puni. When Fisk kept his approach to pass rush as simple as possible, everything fell into place. While Fisk is able to straight up bull rush Puni into Purdy, whenever Fisk pulls out the dip and rip, attacking Puni's left shoulder, he's able to find the leverage that includes incompletions. Next. Russell Wilson says he signed with Giants because of Malik Nabers. Cooper Flagg could create a familiar Anthony Davis problem for Mavericks. Next. Raiders 53-man roster projection dares critics to doubt Pete Carroll again. The Las Vegas Raiders were one of the worst teams in the entire league last season, but massive changes have already been made under head coach Pete Carroll and general manager John Septic. This new look team was put through the ringer during the Raiders' off-season program, as several recent additions made strong impressions during both the OTA and mandatory minicamp periods. With the off-season now in the rear view and the preseason on the horizon, it's time for a new 53-man roster projection. By the looks of it, Carroll and Septic could silence a lot of doubters in year one. Raiders' 53-man roster projection after mandatory minicamp. Quarterback 3, Geno Smith, Aiden O'Connell, Cam Miller. Running back 4, Ashton Jeanty, Raheem Mostert, Sincere McCormick, Dylan LaBaye. Wide receiver 6, Jacoby Myers, Trey Tucker, Jack Beach, Dante Thornton Jr., Tommy Mallet, Colin Johnson. Tight end 3, Brock Bowers, Michael Mayer, Ian Thomas. Offensive line, 9 of them: Colton Miller, Jordan Meredith, Jackson Powers Johnson, Dylan Parham, DJ Glaze, Charles Grant, Caleb Rogers, Alex Kappa, Sawyer Munford Jr. Oh my gosh, and the list keeps going. Defensive end, 4 of them: Max Cosby, Malcolm Coons, Tyree Wilson, Charles Snowden. Defensive tackle, 7 of them: Christian Wilkins, Adam Butler, Lekay Fotu, Jonah Laulu. I don't know how to pronounce that. Zachary Carter, JJ Pews, Tonka Hemingway. Linebacker, 5 of them: Jermaine Pratt, London Roberts, Devin White, Amari Gaynor, Tommy Etchberg. Cornerback, Jacorian Bennett, Eric Stokes, DeCameron Richardson, Darian Porter, Darnay Holmes. Safety, Jeremy Chin, Isaiah Pola-Mao, Thomas Harper, Lonnie Johnson Jr. Special teams, AJ Cole, Daniel Carson, and Jacob Moyer. I'll post this article since I couldn't pronounce the names correctly. I'm posting it right now. There it is. It's been sent. Alright. Chargers have 3 of the most watchable games in 2025. The Chargers entered the upcoming season with plenty of hype surrounding them. Under Jim Harbaugh's first season as the team's head coach, they made the playoffs and are equipped to make another deep run. With that intrigue, plenty of eyes will be on them. Bookies.com recently ranked the 25 most watchable games of the upcoming season, and 3 Chargers matchups were listed. The first is the Week 1 bout against the Chiefs and Brazil, which ranked number 15th on the list, with a watchable score of 57.1 point. The second 57.1, sorry. The second is the Week 8 contestant against the Vikings, checking in at number 17 with a watchability score of 56.5. The third is the Week 14 game against the Eagles, which ranked number 19 with a watchability score of 56. The Eagles-Chiefs Super Bowl rematch is number 1, followed by the Ravens versus Chiefs, Eagles versus Bills, Ravens versus Bills. Bookies determines a game watchability with an algorithm that factors in betting lines, projected win totals for the season, Super Bowl odds, off-field storylines, and if a game is on national TV. Next, bill passed by House to help pay for Chase Field repairs likely to be signed by governor. Taxpayers' money being used to help fund renovations for Chase Field, the home of the Arizona Diamondbacks, is closer to becoming a reality. The Republican-controlled House of Representatives approved on Monday afternoon HB 2704. The bill would allocate up to $500 million in sales taxes from the stadium and nearby buildings, along with income taxes from select teams' employees over the next 30 years to repair. The nearly 30-year-old stadium, one of the oldest in Major League Baseball. That means all the money will come from taxes paid on items bought at the ballpark. The measure ensures that the Diamondbacks stay in downtown Phoenix through 2056. You guys are probably like, oh my god, that's a long time. It is, but when you have a big renovation like that, I mean, let's face it, the Bengals are struggling. They want a renovation, but the fans and everybody want a new stadium that is up to date. So, yeah. But anyways, to continue, the bill goes into the governor's desk while Governor Katie Hobbs is expected to sign it. She posted on X, formerly known as Twitter, of course, duh, that she was excited that lawmakers passed the bill. I'm thrilled that the legislature has passed a bill that will keep the Diamondbacks in Phoenix and create good paying jobs. This is a huge win for every Arizonian, Hobbs said. Next, last article, guys. Who is the Rams' most underrated defensive player? When Aaron Donald last offseason, the Los Angeles Rams were tasked with finding not necessarily his replacement, but players who could fill multiple roles that Donald was able to do during his illustrious Hall of Fame career. General Manager Les Snead and defensive coordinator Chris Shula were able to accomplish this with one of the youngest defensive front sevens in the NFL last season. It was a culmination of the last few off seasons of a roster shakeup that had some believing the Rams were rebuilding. Since 2023, standouts such as defensive linemen Kobe Turner and Braden Fisk were drafted along with 2024 Defensive Rookie of the Year edge rusher Jared Verse. They also signed veteran Poona Ford in free agency to pair with the young stretch of players while also drafting Brennan Jackson and Josiah Stewart to give the Rams depth on the edges. However, there is one play that continues to be an afterthought of sorts. 2023 third round draft pick and pass rusher Brian Young has becoming one of the key pieces of Los Angeles' fierce defensive front. Los Angeles's fierce defensive front that has offered plenty of excitement to fans ahead of the season. Young has been quite productive since being a day 2 selection out of Tennessee. His 15.5 sacks since 2023 are third most among players from that draft behind teammate Kobe Turner and third overall draft choice Will Anderson. One of the top edge rushers in the NFL, Young finished third in sacks. On Rams defense and showcased, he will likely remain a productive force at a position. Young is an older player for someone entering his third season. He was 25 years old when he was drafted 2 years ago, with some concern about his limited ceiling as a player. However, he has showcased why some shouldn't fret on his age with how he has produced, and performed since 2023. The Rams have an explosive pass rusher and who Young who knows how to stress the outside shoulder of offensive tackles while having the hip and ankle flexion to deep and bend under the arms of edge blockers. He's shown to be immense on stunt and twist games that allow him to overwhelm interior blockers with speed and quickness, like this sack below against Detroit Lions quarterback Jared Goff. Young is a dangerous player on the Rams defense, has a clear strength and weakness, but his skill set and what he brings to the table as the unit's explosive speed rusher gives the defensive front options on how he can be deployed moving forward. While he may be the most underrated defender of the teams overall, that could change for the better in 2025. And that is all the articles we had, guys. Ravens have 2 players attending tight end university this week. And that is it, guys. That's all the articles we had. And we've been on here for almost an hour, I think it is. Right? No, 50 minutes. But while you're waiting, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified, please, and share as well. Thank you very much and very much appreciated. I don't know if you guys noticed or not. You probably can't, but oh yeah, you can. This right here I just got, and the stickers too. So, yeah, we're upgrading this room a little bit. So, and soon MJ will have his own Apple Watch. It's not an Apple Watch, but it is a watch. So, it's kind of like an Apple Watch, but let's see here. I made a couple polls. I made a couple polls, like votes, on Baden, I think it is, and somebody else, I can't remember. But I made some polls, like where you can vote. It's on my Twitter page if you want to go check it out. Let's see here. It's gonna be very hot this week. If I were you guys, I wouldn't be outside. I wouldn't be outside working. I wouldn't be outside at all. It is way too dangerous. I wouldn't even go to the beach because it's super hot. Um, yeah, trying to. We have a hurricane, well, a tropical storm, developing, um, in the Atlantic, but there's been a ton of hurricanes and tropical storm, like a handful of them, um, in the Pacific Ocean. In the Pacific Ocean. So yeah. Anyways, we are gonna go to commercial break because it's been way over 30 minutes, I think. Yeah, because I started at. Yeah. The bad news is the stream that I'm using now, it doesn't show you the time. Like, it doesn't show you how long you've been on live, which sucks, but it is what it is. Congrats, OKC, on being champions. The Thunder team, NBA. I've been doing good. I've been working my usual, well, the new usual lately. I've been working Tuesdays and Fridays at McAllister's. Um, but I like the job. The only bad thing I don't like is when you have angry, disrespectful customers who just don't care. And thank goodness I've rarely had those since I got the job. I only had maybe 2 or 3. That was it. After my over a year, over 1 year, past 1 year. Um, since I got the job. Right after I graduated school, so. Dang, that's crazy. I'm looking at the videos of the thunder. That's crazy. Jeez, that's crazy. Oh, really? Why do people do that? Anyways, sorry guys. I just saw something that was just inappropriate. And I don't want to show you guys because that is bad. Um mojo, I guess you'll call it. I don't know. Oh no. Why would they do that? I don't understand. Anyways, so is there anything else you guys would like to talk about or anything? I'm staying on here till midnight, so I was gonna stay on here till 11:45, but I figured I'll stay on here till midnight since I haven't been on in a few days, if not more than that. I want to say I want to say a big thank you to Baden. Um, you probably saw it, a picture of it when you clicked on this live stream. Um, you're probably wondering why is MJ on there? Well, I do football, I do basketball, and I do track. Those are the three sports I do. And I'm thinking for my fifth year, I'm still thinking about it. For my fifth year, maybe baseball. The only bad thing is I don't want to be in a dugout. I do, but I don't. But I do want to be in a dugout, but I also don't. What I'm trying to say is the heat. Um, let's see here. Sorry, guys, I'm just seeing something. My package comes tomorrow. And that'll be the last package for a while. Um, oh yeah, that's another thing I wanted to talk about. So Kroger's is closing 60 stores nationwide. So I can break it down for you guys. So Georgia. Here, actually, you know what? I'll just post it on my Twitter page. So that way you guys can look at it. It's Georgia, Illinois, Kentucky, Tennessee, Texas, Virginia, West Virginia, and that's it. There's my watch. There. What? Okay, that's pretty cool. And that's the other thing I want to get when I get paid. Anyways, I don't know why I did that. That was cool. That was really cool. Alright, it's on my Twitter page. So you guys can look at it. Greencastle, Pennsylvania. Jeez. That's crazy. Where is that even at? Then it went to Etna, Ohio. Okay. That's cool that it shows you that. Sorry, I was looking at my watch where it was. The 4th Street Bridge will close in January ahead of spring demolition. As deadline for a deal nears, Paycor Stadium's fastest path to state funding may be unconstitutional. Heat index rises above 100 before noon. Let's see here. I'm looking at my email. We already said all that. Yeah, we said all that. "2025 Player's Choice is Cooper Kupp. How to watch and more." Eric Edholm, top 5 NFL draft values for the millennium at wide receiver. Jaguars signed number 2 overall pick Travis Hunter to rookie contract. Daniel Jeremiah scouting Penn State quarterback Drew Allar. Colts quarterback Anthony Richardson's shoulder expects to be ready for training camp. Bucky Brooks, top 5 teams that won the offseason. The Baltimore Ravens, the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears is first. Then the Baltimore Ravens, the New England Patriots, the Washington Commanders, the Las Vegas Raiders, and that's it. That's it. Got that. Got that. Yeah, but back to my job. Um, the only thing I don't like about my job is dealing with angry, impatient, disrespectful customers. But I know I'm gonna have that at any job when it comes to public. But, yeah, so it's just hard. It really is. Let's get into weather and then we will head on out, guys. Um, yeah, let's head to weather and then we'll head on out. Because it's almost midnight. It's 11:58, so. Weather. Alright. Cincinnati. Tonight, low of 75. Tomorrow, thunderstorms, high of 92, low of 75. Thursday, thunderstorms, high of 91, low of 72. Friday, thunderstorms, high of 92, low of 73. Saturday, thunderstorms, high of 89, low of 73. Sunday, thunderstorms, high of 90, low of 73. Monday, thunderstorms, high of 89, low of 72. And then next Tuesday, thunderstorms, high of 85, low of 66. That's for Cincinnati. Now for Dayton, we have clear, low of 75, with a stray shower or thunderstorm possible. Wednesday, thunderstorms, high of 93, low of 75. Thursday, thunderstorms, high of 92, low of 75. Friday, partly cloudy skies with an afternoon thunderstorm is possible. High of 93, low of 74. Saturday, thunderstorms. Rain showers in the morning. High of 87, low of 73. Sunday, partly cloudy, stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High of 90, low of 73. Monday, thunderstorms. High of 87, low of 72. And then next Tuesday, thunderstorms. High of 85, low of 66. So there you have it. That's for Dayton. But anyways, guys, I think that'll do it. I don't have anything else to say. So thank you guys for watching this live stream. Don't forget to like, subscribe, that bell right there, and hit the bell to be notified. If you can do that, that'll be awesome. And don't forget to share my videos and live streams as well. Thanks, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.
We're not done. I like it. This weekend on Saturday and Sunday.
Antidepressants may increase.